Crime is down in Oakland, right?
Oh, yeah. The customer can... convenience store, and you guys have nice things, but it's a nice place to be.
I don't see.
Imagine it.
How you win
Same store getting robbed twice in a day.
Because if you
really?
turn it into Fort Knox, you put bars up.
Twice in a day.
Buzz people in. Whatever. It's not a convenient way to shop. They're called convenience stores. You have to be able to get in, get your cup of coffee, get your newspaper, get your
Ponjay filled with
ticket,
fun and adventure. I'm listening about the Oakland convenience store that got robbed twice in a day.
You're not going to go there.
Whew, wow, boy.
It's not convenient anymore.
That's raw, boys. That is raw.
If you have
that is raw. Welcome in.
Your security
What's going on, Ronnie?
Point is going to engage with these people, and then they're going to be accused of battering a child, or racism, or use of force, or whatever, and then you're going to get in trouble for that.
Kawana, how are you, beautiful?
And then if you close the doors...
How great to see you. I can't wait till you start doing some bids again.
There's no...
I got Kawana withdrawal.
There's no produce. There's no milk. There's no
beauty in the kitchen, baby.
And so we can't have that.
I hope your family's good.
Remember in San Francisco when there were supermarkets that closed down, the politicians went after them for closing down?
They wanted to go after any supermarket.
It is coffee time, boys.
Vacant lease because, well,
coffee
they're just trying to prevent the competition.
Yeah, good to see Kawana. I don't see her much anymore, but wow, she is a beauty, man.
There's nothing you can do where you win. So
yeah, that's good. Yeah, I miss seeing your stuff.
I guess in the city, is you just have to stay open and get
really a super good entertainer. Oh, I'm doing great. You know, just bouncing along.
Part of the reason that none of us can buy insurance because
same old Rosie.
All the time.
There you go. For
enjoying
the
life.
Time, a burglary and robbery of a 7-Eleven in Oakland.
All right, Randy. Coming up in mere minutes, the next edition of the Accountability Podcast drops.
It premieres at 3 o'clock.
Can you imagine running a convenience store that's robbed twice in a day? Wow, like have mercy, boys. Have mercy. Ronnie, can you remind... Yeah, I got some tomatoes that are drying outside in the sun. I don't want to leave them out overnight. So maybe you can remind me to take them inside when I get back to the Rancho tonight. I drink coffee whether it's 30 degrees or 124 degrees. I drink coffee just like the Spanish do. It helps pull the heat out of my body. I don't drink iced coffee, iced tea, or anything like that. Yeah, I got those doggone tomatoes I sliced up. We're going to try sun drying. It's going to take 4 or 5 days. We have to worry about rain, but I can't leave them out overnight. Old Pop almost slammed into me in there. All right, let's get the day underway. Way too hot. Oh man, I don't care about heat. I like heat. It got to under 60 degrees last night and I got a bad kink in my back. Heat I can endure. I've proven myself battle worthy of the 123 degrees for hours and hours and hours. No one on the history of YouTube ever did a hotter live stream for so long. I didn't flinch. Yeah, was it the most fun live stream I ever did? No. But, you know, it is what it is, boys. What's going on, Kelly? Happy Wednesday. Kelly at the Busy Beaver Kids Center. Long day taking care of the kitties. Yes. I heard that. And they're trying to remove channels that are AI or low effort slop channels. So I hope many of you had a chance to look at my remastered Wizard of Oz. Adding a music track and manipulating the color and sounds. What's new, Kelly? Well, I was working today, making sure some people didn't mess up some work I already did. Why in the hell is that van always open? Is that van like freaking stolen? That door hasn't changed. Well, only 3% of YouTube channels are monetized. Yeah, there you go, Cindy. Yeah, I mean, it's just continuous, boys. Cindy lives in Phoenix, and plus Phoenix, you get those big ass dust storms. They come through. Very menacing. All right, very good. You've really been cooking, Kelly. Later on, you'll conspire. You'll probably be able to teach me a thing or three about cooking Canadian style. Oh shit, I came the wrong way, boys. We're gonna get caught up in the problem here. Oh crap. Oh shit, we're committed, boys. We're dead up here. We are dead. Yeah, there's gonna be road boy. Oh crap. No, I'm not. I was sun drying tomatoes today and overseeing some guys working at the church to make sure they didn't mess stuff up. Is that her? I don't think that's the same one. But she's smiling at me. You guys got the cutest black girls in.
Oh, thank
Let's see if my my insanely hot honey is up here. My honey bunny baby. There she is. There's my girl. Damn, boy. Chugga 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 boo boo. Chugga 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 boo. I never seen a girl smiling like constantly on the flag. I had to give the old Roosevelt bit of encouragement there. Give all the encouragement. How you doing, Ken? Welcome in. Yeah, it's very comfortable here today. Got a little too cool last night. Scabadoo badoo boo boo badoo badoo boo boo badoo 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 boo badoo badoo boo boo badoo badoo boo boo badoo 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 boo. Yeah, drive carefully. Do 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 do. She had such lovely green and yellow hair. She was the girl of my dreams. I usually do that on Thursday. I'll have like a free weekend kickoff. Friday I'll do a lot, and then Saturday I'll have just a little bit. That's it. I don't like being all alcohol soaked. Do 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 do. It's California, babe. Coastal CA. I got my tomatoes drying outside. Got to get another one of those Chinese screens that goes on top. Those keeps the flies off. They have that little netting thing that goes over top of dishes in the dining rooms and stuff. I'll have one shot, never more, and I'll have a beer. I always have a beer every night. I believe there's absolutely zero downsides to beer, especially in moderation. Too many people drink in Germany. Shit, Elmer probably kills a 12-pack a night over there. And look at how he's still functioning. This guy should be dead. Drinking that East German beer all those years. Shit, I forgot. Did I get my mail today? Maybe I did. I don't know. I can't remember. Let's flick that around. Turn that around. All right. There we go. Oh, man. Yeah, do you ever get a pain in your back, like you got a pinched nerve or something, because you moved the wrong way and then it got cold and it kind of froze it into position? What a bummer. I had a phone interview and the woman barely spoke English. Very strange. Wow. I went to I called Verizon today. I want to check on my service, and I said, I've been going to Costco, and they're always very aggressive when I wanting to sign me up for AT&T. Doggone it, the woman, the guy, I don't know where in the hell he was, Burundi or Upper Volta or something, he immediately took 25% off my bill for the next 6 months. In Spain, there's an annual tomato fighting it down on 20 that guy the photo you're supposed to wear one. Yeah, I've seen that before. It's probably near the town where the idiots run with the bulls, and then get a horn up their rear end. Yeah, I'm not going to waste tomatoes. Anyway, supposedly, and please hit the thumbs up here, guys. Take a second to like the stream. Supposedly, the San Marzano are the best ones for drying, which probably means they were the only ones that were dried for centuries or whatever. So whether they're really the best or not, who knows? But it's supposed to be good. So it's going to take, what is today? Today is Wednesday. I didn't get them out there till like 1 o'clock. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, probably Monday. I like to have 12 to doing chores and I could fix that pinched nerve. Oh, could you say, damn, I hate that at nighttime. Damn, I try to shift position. And I had the fan on and it got cold last night and that cold just locked that damn thing in there. Wow. I had to get up and take ibuprofen. Yeah, San Marzano's are great. Nice to see you, Sig. T-Mobile has got, yeah, they're all expensive. But I have what's called it's called the Above Unlimited plan. And it has international service in Canada and Mexico. And the guy's like, we're going to give you 25% off your bill for the next 6 months. How's that sound? Well, that's all good, man. $75. I'm on an old plan. With unlimited, the guy's like, oh, we could sign you up for another for half price, but it's a limited plan. I'm like, bro, I'm sticking with the grandfathered in plan. You're not getting me off of this thing. There's no way they're going to be choking my chicken when I'm... yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I said there's no way they're going to be choking my chicken on throttling my data. I've had enough problem. What, are you going to T-bone me in your Benz? I guess school started. I don't know. Okay, there's lots of young lovers around today. There's that Volkswagen bus again. Yeah, so that hurt like hell yesterday. You better believe that hurt. Let's make sure we're on all messages. I hate to get that. Let's face it, my bed is so lousy. It's like sleeping on a pile of bricks. Like sleeping on a damn pile of bricks, boys. But I hope two videos I did, the Wizard of Oz, the Twister Remastered, which was pretty cool last night. It turned out better than I thought it would. I cleaned up a lot of the original 1939 footage and put a nice little musical overlay on top of it and adjusted the color. So that was kind of fun. I've been working on that yesterday, and then today I did that video, Why Corporations Hate You, Hate Workers today. Worth checking out. You can see we continue to get more radicalized. Yeah, I'm not sure, Cindy, if I want to get a Costco mattress or not, babe. I mean, I don't know. You know, I was one of these idiots, get a firm mattress, and the firmer the better, you'll have back problem. I never have back problem, but I have sleeping problem because it's so damn firm, and then I'll go traveling somewhere and the hotel mattress is like a cloud, and I'm so joyful. Stan put in there, well, he's still alive, Brett. You know, he's still alive. That's a beautiful thing. What's going on, Mystery? How are you? You know, 25 years ago, there was no such thing as a stent. Yeah, I mean, you figure it this way, 80 years old, those old pipes are getting kind of a lot of buildup in them. It's like your kitchen sink when it drains slow. And so I tell people once a month, fill up the biggest pot you have, boil it, and pour that down your sink. You will never, yeah, I've tried to look at it before. It's like some hotel brand on his body and everything. Oh, mystery, you are a hoot. Yeah, please hit the thumbs up. Who in the hell can afford shows anymore? You get people worried about their freaking jobs. Oh, nice. Okay, that's cool. If you want my body and you think I'm sexy, come on, daddy, yeah, whatever. Narcissist Incorporated. Oh, that's nice, Brett. Beautiful. Nice. I would have loved to have seen Pink Floyd and Supertramp. I like you go. I get your humor just fine. I thought it was for my body, mystery. Yeah, you have very good humor. Kind of a biting wit like my younger daughter. She's telling me about her delivery back in April, and oh, I didn't get there. You know, I got there and it was already contracting, and I had to wait forever to get the something for the pain, and the horror began. She's always very blunt. Nowadays, when you apply for a job, there's 50 applicants. Yeah, well, be honest, Cindy, I'm not sure. It's been a hell of a year since I applied for a job, but you know what? I believe you. I believe you. I don't know if that guy's blind or not. He's pushing her around in white and red, like he's kind of moping his way along. I don't know. Knock on your windows too. You know, I can go a lifetime without feeling sad I didn't see a bear. It wouldn't hurt me in the least. Anyway, I harvested another, what do I want to say, another 80 tomatoes today. These San Marzanos are just kicking. I must have about 40, 50 pounds so far. And I cut them in half and I put them on trays. Sat them out in the sun. I got kind of a cover on top of this Chinese thing that goes over your dishes on the table. I'd like to get another one of them somewhere. East German drank Berliner Weissstraßbeer. It was probably Whizwater, Elmer. Back in the day, there used to be the good. I was a good humor man. It's in my memoir. I got my funny stories and sad stories of good humor too. The squirrel I was feeding chewed my door trim off until I got a dog and let it in the yard. That's why people tell me, "Oh, you should have a couple goats on the Rancho." I come out, all the fruit trees are gone, the shine shack's gone, every fence is digested and gone. And the goofy goat's just standing there looking at me. I drove one for summer, Brett. Harrowing streets of downtown Baltimore in some of the worst neighborhoods, up some alleys that you would have cried. I was one of the first persons that put surge pricing in place, but not in those neighborhoods. You can still get a good, yeah, you can still get it in some stores. I used to ring the bells, clutching along with the old P at the POS. Always worried about getting robbed, the gun stuck in my face. Yo, what's up? Who's up, man? What are you doing? Come on, man. You white mother, get that. That was hard work, boys. Hard work. Nah, they just got these independents run around, and a lot of these guys, you know, have a thing for kids. That's a little worrisome. You know, miss the eclipse today because of the rain clouds. I don't know. I didn't even look. Did we get something today? The eclipse didn't seem to slow Goliath down. He's determined to get into the house and make mayhem. Guys, we're way behind in thumbs up. Could you please take a second and please hit the thumbs up? Please like up the stream. Thank you. Going to cock, pork, loin, and pasta roni for dinner later today. Pork, I don't know, what's pasta roni? I don't know what that is. Oh, cook. Sorry, not a fan of Heineken. It's got some weird undernote I find very disagreeable. Same thing with Tsingtao beer in Germany. I mean, goats would destroy my whole property. You're standing out there munching the side off the building. Eat all my plastic barrels, take the bumper off the truck and shit. I mean, it just, you know, it'd be like like unleashing the Kraken on the house in the Rancho. Pasta runs in box pasta. Yeah, makes. Same company that makes the San Francisco treat. Saute and simmer. Your neighbors waiting to be meat. Or watch you take a dump on the street. Oof. Saute and simmer. The flavor can't be beat. Rice aroni, the San Francisco treat. Ding ding. Do. The best animals are the ones on my plate. Yeah, let's see. Are we charging, Ronnie? I don't know, bro. I think we just turned the damn thing on. Yeah, we're not going to play that goofy game again. Oh, boy. Not here. Are you a meat eater, Mystery? There's a meteor shower tonight. How you doing, Eddie? It'll probably be marine layer moving in here. There was like mist in the air this morning. Saute and simmer. The flavor can't be beat. Rice-a-roni, the San Francisco treat. How about that store in Oakland? The convenience store that got robbed twice in one day. That was like the CVS in Kitchati down here. That they robbed that in the morning, and then another group came back and robbed it at night. Do you have a favorite wine you like? Ken, I'm be honest with you, I'm not a wine drinker. Small European wine. It has a lot of different beers for all over Europe. That's cool. I never grew up in a family. I mean, they would have Catalba Pink. My mother would have that, or some, sparkling champagne on the holiday or something. Ding, 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 dong, ding. But we were all beer all the time. Hey, Kellyanne. We were all beer. Kellyanne, don't come in and ask questions. Go look at the channel heading page. Hey, everyone. Yeah, hit that thumbs up button. Buttercup Baby sends me this thing today. Where'd you get that meat again? Tell you what, it's scary as hell, man. You guys laughed at me for not eating greens. This cyclosporin, because they found out a lot of people have sourced this where they're spraying human feces with water to fertilize. It's not just one vegetable. You only have 4 companies that control the whole lettuce market. One of them has 5 different names in your grocery. You think you're having a different choice? You're not. Same company using different names. It's all such a ruse these days. I'm really starting to hate corporations with a passion. They treat people like dogs. Anna Kay, what time is the shower? Yeah, but not human manure. Human manure contains pathogens that have been kicked out of the human body. You want to consume that again? You might as well go out and eat a shit sandwich. I don't have greens, so I'm like solid as a rock. I have a bag salad I bought. I still haven't eaten that bad boy. And if the boss and Janet had gotten me sick with that salad down there last Tuesday, yeah, I would have sued. Well, that's what it is, Mystery. It's not from cow manure. You have no trans pathogens from cows to people. But you put human waste on, mix it in with the water you're spraying. Let's not be surprised, guys, that we have a constant race to the bottom. It's like Cindy worked in a grocery environment for years. She probably saw a lot of disgusting crap. A lot of games and a lot of BS. I mean, corporations treat the customer almost as badly as they treat the employees these days. Oh, got 2 tickets. Wow, wow. They gave you a second one? I've worked in restaurants, Brett. I don't need to be involved in all that mess. Especially if you're an old person and you're crapping your brains out. That's dehydrates you. Your history, babe. Your history. So spare a thought for Bobby. Was in Kaiser a couple days. I think he's being released tomorrow. So I finally heard he finally raised his sale today. Yeah, I wouldn't take a second. That would be tossed in court. That's bullshit. Ticketing somebody twice, I could see if you were speeding twice, but for registration and type, no. It's a one-shot Johnny, baby. I have a couple choices. I got some leftover pizza, Cindy, or I can have a couple of those delicious Hills hot dogs that were good. I made a nice pizza last night that I quite enjoyed, so I'll probably have a couple slices of that. Hello, Alex. Nice to see you. His birthday was staged. Yeah, I think a judge would toss the. I think the judge would toss one. Shit, I was riding around in a truck that hadn't been titled since 2000. I mean, registered. Holy crap. That's not just, here's your ticket. That's pull over, take out the keys, step out of the car, and call a ride for yourself. We're impounding your vehicle. Yeah, that homemade pizza was good. I made my own dough last night. Not as good as Cindy makes, but it was pretty doggone good. I would have jazzed up the sauce a little more, but it was good. It was regular spaghetti. My red sauce. It was good. But nothing takes the place of real pepperonis. Man, I haven't had a ticket in forever. I think the last ticket I had was back in 2002. I was coming down from Reno into Roseville, north of Sacramento, and there was a downhill there, and the guy got me going like, I don't know, 80. I'm in Santa Rosa, California, Kelly. Just about 50 miles north of the Golden Gate Bridge, up in wine country. Sonoma, Napa counties, America's premier wine destination. Yeah, but I'm saying, Buttercup, baby, a judge can toss something out. You can at least toss out the county one. It is beautiful. It's delightful. It's perfect weather. You don't need AC. You don't need heat. It's a beautiful coastal climate. Never rains in summer. I really want to see about going crabbing, but I don't know what high tide is Friday. I've been a little gun shy to go down the cliff again after I did a 12-foot swan dive onto the rocks. It's a wonder I didn't nut myself. Oh, boy. But I would like to get out there and get out there early. Whole food, organic, vegan pizza, only 20. Do you eat that, Alex? Vegan? Are you a vegan? I don't like vegan cheese. I mean, when Diane was up here, we went to Amy's Drive-In and they had like vegan macaroni and cheese. It was like It was like munching on a dog's hiney, man. It tasted so bad. It was like gobbling a turd pie. It was just awful. I mean, and then you look at the packaging and they just load up the salt and the fat in it, so. Well, I don't want to say anything, you know, on account of Cindy's vegetarian, and that's cool, but I'm sure she cooks up her own dishes and stuff. And if she goes vegetarian, I'm not so sure. I think people were designed genetically and evolutionarily to be meat eaters. Hence we have incisors and choppers for grinding and macerating. Vegan is horrendous. I haven't even touched another car, Buttercup baby, since 2008. Hey, Alan. Yeah, good for you. You get cheese. That's good. That's another thing I just genetically, my father didn't like cheese, and we didn't have much cheese as a kid. American cheese or Cheese Whiz. Man, that wind is still coming from the west, southwest. Been so long since we've had a true northwest wind coming here. Do you want to date me, Kelly? Pescatarian. Oh, fish. That's cool. Hey, Brett. Vegan cheese. I don't know. I had like Amy stuff. I mean, the burger was okay. They used to talk about it all the time. What were the two types of meat substitute burgers that they had? I can't remember. Nobody even talks about them anymore. What was it? It was Beyond Meat, and the other one was something. You don't even hear about them anymore. Amy's closed down their drive-through. It became like a barbecue joint. It's like the gassy grandmas were horrified that we lost our vegetarian restaurant. The horror. Speaking of, he just went down and paid. Yeah, well here, Alan, they have the whole trap set. So you go to traffic school, which is a bloody nightmare. I'd rather just pay the fine and take the points. How you doing, Trog? But then again, you know, the insurance company would get wind of it, and then then they just bend you over. Always a wreck on the internet. So you have to sit through the clown school. You can't advance ahead. You have to sit through the whole damn thing. I hated that. Please advance to next lesson. Seatbelts are there for your protection. Ding, advance to the next one. This is a Ohio State Police official picture of what happens when a human goes flying through a windshield. We might be building AI into everything fast, and we're figuring out what happens when it gets something seriously wrong. Well, here's what was seriously wrong yesterday. NVIDIA, which develops its chips that everybody bought, they made sure everybody was loaded to the gills and bloated on their chips, and then they announced, you know what, we're making our own AI model. Oh, you mother... We have our own Metron or whatever the hell it's called. We have our own open source model now. How you like us now? These people are having a hell of a time figuring out how they're going to make money off all this crapola. Meanwhile, interest rates, even though the inflation was tame, interest rates just refuse to go down. It tells you it's not tied to inflation; it's tied to fiscal riskiness. When you have to go in there and support the Japanese yen, I miss making and eating. Yeah, I think I could go for that, Alex. That'd be all right. Yeah, thank you very much, Nona Arillo. Good luck to you on your accounting. AI. Well, they better understand what they're getting out. I used AI to do Bobby's taxes. I'm not going to sit here and figure the adjusted gross income bullshit. I'm going to give you the figures, and you do it. Work like a dream. Life is but a dream. Kaboom, kaboom. Yeah, please hit the thumbs up button. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about AI accounting. It seems like you're taking coals to Newcastle. The whole thing of AI was like I did. I don't need TurboTax to do my taxes. So I'm not sure if I need an accounting package on AI that's, you know, I had fun working at the Wizard of Oz clip last night of cinematic remastering using AI. Drivers hit hardest on it. Probably because of money, Alan. They get a cut of everybody that goes to traffic school. And I went to one called Clown Traffic School. And every page had a clown. Oh, man. Really? Everyone had a clown. What's going on, NH? Hey, Kelly, how you doing? Can you imagine clown driving school, traffic school? Man, if you're in California, you know exactly what that is. Freaking nightmare. Life is but a dream. Shaboom, shaboom. Oh. Tomorrow night we're going to have a street stream. We're going to end up at the Matote. We're going to see what's going on if they've set up their beer stand over there. Check the price out. So we're going to put down about 5 or 6 miles on the streets. Nobody can do it. Yeah, I'm just saying, Aaron, it's a drag though. I would rather have just paid it. But they report to the insurance company, so I took it. It was fine. But it's, you know, it was 2 hours or whatever. And that just makes additional money for the state of California. They get a cut of these driver schools. And now we have a thing coming on the November ballot to increase the sales tax here another 0.5%, which will put it at the highest in the state of California because our city is so incompetent. A 10.5% sales tax. Guess who's going to be shopping at Costco in Rohnert Park? I never saw a place that was so chaotic as this wealthy county. Well, they made us wash all the cop car in the world. They took us home and that didn't sit right. Yeah, no, shit doesn't sit right. We used to throw flaming bags of poo up on the porch. The person come out and stomp them till one of them was a cop. Yeah. I think I got beat pretty bad on that one. Might have been a little cross-eyed when that beating was over. He's commenting about. We don't have we don't have a tax on groceries, but we do on over-the-counter crap, carry-out food. But this is going to be, you buy a piece of furniture, you buy something at Best Buy or Target, a pair of drawers or a nice baby doll nightie, you're going to pay taxes. Yeah, it's going to be 10.5%, Trog. Well, you know, you can't tell that to the people here. It's another blue city that's just absolutely run into the ground with incompetence. Everything is DEI. Everything is about, you know, addressing inequities and nothing about educating kids. It's all about pensions. They just want to bleed people. I tell you, this is why I call it, Trug, a peasant economy. It's the closest thing I can think of before the guild system was invented in the 1300s, 1400s. All right, what's going on, Dr. Frankenstein? It's a peasant economy. Corporations hate you. So once again, if you didn't see the remastered Wizard of Oz Twister scene, you might enjoy that with some, you know, experimenting a little bit with composition music and color rendering. This is what I talked about a year ago. We're in a new gilded age. We're in a gilded age where technology is bleeding us dry. Restaurants, people, recurrent subscription fees, everybody, nobody wants to sell you something outright. They want that recurrent fee. And it's bleeding people dry. And you know what? Interest rates are really starting to hit the red line too. And it's not because of inflation, boys. When you see the U.S. had a massive yen bailout, shows you how chaotic the currency markets are becoming. Everybody wants to dump the yen. Oh, thank you, NH. Thank you. Yeah, I did a few, a lot of adjusting and rendering, sharpening, music. I still consider from 1939 that was the greatest cinematic twister ever put on video. And the way that they made that in the studio is incredible. Well, in Maryland, we always had a point system. If you were X miles over the speed limit, you got so many points. If you were, 50 miles over, they suspended your license. If you were 60 miles over, they just pulled your license altogether. I've been talking about that, Trog. That the corporations are sucking the juice out of the land and they're leaving behind hollowed out people that they could give a flying F about. They're not sharing the profits with anybody. They can hide behind their non-disclosure agreements, their employment terms and conditions, and arbitration bullshit you sign. You know, they got you by the nuts. They're taking advantage of a very tight market for good paying jobs. And that's the bottom line. It's a peasant economy. Yeah, well, it's worse than that, Trog. It's a tool that also hallucinates. So imagine it's not even giving you correct information anymore, and you just feed that right back into the AI loop again. And you have error compounding upon error, compounding upon error. So every single day there's tens of millions of additional errors flooding into the AI sphere. So what does it have the effect of doing? It has the effect of not enhancing workflows. It has the effect of slowing it down as corporations have to adjust to the massive spaghetti noodles of bullshit that have infected their systems. The slop that's in there and reproducing faster than the people can check every line of code. Remember, AI moves 1,000 times faster than the guy sitting there checking a line of code in India, sitting in some sweatshop. It's worse than you think, Trog. Yeah, nuts. Big nuts, Kelly. Little nuts. Little nuts, little wieners. What's for dinner tonight, Kelly? You and Pat cooking up a storm. The Pat is back. I like that pearlescence finish on cars. Well, there was... Trog, did you ever hear of a group of people called Luddites? Luddites. In the 1830s and 40s, these were the people that refused the industrial age, the machine age. And when the factories would close for the day or whatever, they would grab their sledgehammers, they would smash into the factory, and they would take mallets and sledgehammers and smash up the machines, as if that was going to slow down the Industrial Revolution. You can do whatever the hell you want, but, you know, you can't hold back a tide. Yeah, AI's on mushrooms. That's right, Buttercup, baby. And it was horrifying to me when I found out. So, these guys are off in La La Land, building these systems, scratching each other's sacks, selling crap to each other. Meanwhile, the businesses on the ground are struggling with AI and grafting it onto their own existing shitty legacy databases, and they're having massive problems. They're spending a fortune. They're spending a fortune on technology. Well, there you go. That's it, Tron. That's called model collapse. That's called the Great Civilizational Reset. That's a letter. Oh, man. That sounds kind of raw, Kelly. She just got back from her Grecian holiday. And you caught her loose. He says that it's true you are smart. Who says that? What was he talking about? Oh, so you don't mean permanently let her go. Talking about work BS. Oh, the guy I work with. Okay. The real disaster happens, Trog, when you try to monetize this technology. All these companies go forward. They're all building at the same data centers, all buying the same chips, and yet they have to figure out a way that you're going to come and use their system. And the most effective way that corporations have ever found to do that is to engage in price wars, get the people on your site, and then worry about profitability later. Hey, Tara. Yes, you may ask a question. You don't have to ask permission to ask a question. You can just ask it. I might not have an answer, but what's going on, Tara? This is absolutely, no, haven't got a hold of whoever the hell that is. This in my lifetime, Trog, is the most disastrous. These technology companies went from massively powerful cash flow monsters generating so much cash flow that they've now blown through all that accumulated cash. They borrowed up to the hilt and fired all this money into the furnace. To me, it's going to be the greatest economic calamity since the 1920s. Yeah, he got an S26, I guess. I don't know. Looks good. Yeah, I want to see yours when you come up. Oh, there you go. Oh, that's who it is. How have you been feeling these days? I had to cut Pat loose. She just didn't fit the program anymore. Kelly likes to, what question? Yeah, I already got your question. You got to move on to bigger fish to fry in life. Oh, I can't tell you what to do, Kelly. I don't know. I don't know your life. I don't know. I got my own meat to grind. Oh, man. I need to get my back straightened out. Yeah, just like you don't need to go to law school to be a lawyer. Bigger fish to fry. That's it. Oh, okay. Yeah, it is a general statement. Looking at a bear. I don't know. I don't even want to see a bear. A bear will be ripping your door off. Throwing you to the bears. We made it through the storm. We made it through the storm. I don't know, Mystery. I don't want any stinking bear around. Yeah, please hit the thumbs up button if you're just coming in, if you haven't done so. Alan, what did you think of the boss had all those, 50, 60 little babies, those African cichlids? Hey, Michael, how are you? I'm doing good, thank you. I put a mess of potatoes in. Yeah, I'm predicting the Broncos. Tell me if, I was spot on last year till he snapped his ankle bone. You tell me if Bo Nix is going to survive with that snap, and this guy's got really bad feet. If he stays healthy, yeah, they're going to kick ass again this year. They're going to be some serious ass kicking in the AFC. I saw this kid play. This guy's a gamer. I say keep an eye on Shatter Sanders too for Cleveland. And Lamar Jackson with the revamped Ravens lineup, coaching and everything else. There'll be no more of these fourth quarter collapse BS. If the Ravens get out ahead of you, you're probably going to be in trouble. Do 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 do. Kaboom, kaboom. I want to go crabbing on Friday, but I don't know when high tide is on Friday in Bodega Harbor. I don't know if my license, I got to check my license expires this month. Are you still selling them? Yes, I am, Michael. Yep. I am. And there's some choice stuff. I got that Dynaco amp, which is highly desirable. Made in Philadelphia. 1950s. Vegas in the future is going to be like the 5th of September to like the 12th. People are stupid if they did. Yeah, so you're welcome. I mean, if there's something you like, let me know. I'm not looking to make a fortune. I'm looking to put these with a good home. I know Cobra John's interested in the Dynaco. I'm about ready to get to work on reviving the greatest tuner ever built. The KT6, I don't know what the hell it is, from Kenwood. Right between analog and digital. One of those transitional pieces I love for my collection. Pulse detection. Do 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 do. But it was fun. It was a lot easier today to just cut tomatoes up and put them on a couple trays and sit them outside. Put the net over them. See if we can dry some tomatoes. Yeah, those bears at the park, they'll just tear your window and your door open. Give you a convertible. Mystery, this seems like Dong has arrived. Danone is a good name. But all these Gen Zs and millennials want vintage stuff now. They especially love the vacuum tubes. I'm going to be selling, I have a Magnavox vacuum tube amplifier. You can look at some of the videos of that. And of course, Magnavox was outstanding quality. Yeah, the young people seem fascinated by it. They're tired of buying the black plastic boxes of crap. They like the romantic glow of the vacuum tubes and the warm tube sounds. I don't know about VCRs. You know, Harvey still does reel to reel, which I never got involved in. I got enough. Yes, of course it is, Ken. DEI just went underground, that's all. You can't, these professors won't be changed. You have the president and the provost and the academic deans that are muzzling these people right now, telling these you're killing our university with your bullshit. Keep your mouths shut. Oh, I'm tenured. You can't tell me what to do. It's like this guy that was got caught out lying about his credentials at Oxford University. Immediately grabbed the race card. There wasn't any discussion of being a liar. It just went to race. Yes, Harvey De Niro, yeah. Yeah, Sig, he was always big time. He's still big time in the reel-to-reel. And like Joni Portwood's into cassettes. She's got hundreds and hundreds of cassettes. Yeah, he uploads once in a while. But I didn't want to get record. I wanted to be on the electronic side and stuff. Although it would be nice to have a nice Sennheiser headphones and sit back and listen. Yeah, he's in once in a while. He does an upload. But he's kind of laid low because the old Boyd is basically gone. That new Boyd wasn't a real Boyd. Mystery. I'm not sure what it is, Ken, but universities have a big problem anyway. I haven't even done my video about the problems with higher education these days and the introduction of absolutely useless majors. Colleges turned into a marketing and a cafeteria program to give somebody a degree in Chicano studies or somebody a degree in some other esoteric thing. You know, diversity studies. You think that you're doing this person a favor? When government's cutting so aggressively now? You're basically feeding this person to the wolves, and this is the kind of person that dropped $125,000, $200,000 on college and is jerking coffee at Starbucks with a bad attitude. Sennheiser's outstanding. Shure is another good one. I think you would know better. You were a DJ for years, Sig, with Shure for microphones, and I'm going to have to be recording my memoir on the audiobook. So I'm going to have to get into a studio here, and it has to fit the parameters of Amazon. You just can't put any kind of crap up. I had a Sennheiser MKE 600 a while ago. It was a shotgun microphone. That was like a $600 microphone or something. Rode does really good for wireless mics. My daughter gave me a set of wireless. I haven't even broken it out of the container yet to use. Soon it will be Christmas Day. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. You get a pack of chickens, Alan, and that'd be a life-threatening thing. When they're in attack mode and a bunch of deer, man, you're really risking it all. Every time you go into that hen house and gather those eggs. Clutch Boy with his dirty diesel. Well, Christmas is coming closer than it is moving away. So this guy backed up so he doesn't have to smell the stinky diesel blowing a black cloud. He's going to report into 1-800-SMOKE-IT. Rat Boy. Yeah, the MKE 600 or something like that. I can't remember what the exact model number was. It was a shotgun microphone. There he goes. Diesel boy. Everything is costly, Elmer. I don't like the quality of the cell phone, smartphone videos anymore, but you know, they want $2,000 for a decent camera now. You know, I don't pay it unless I'm in a very heavy travel period. Yeah, I did too, Cindy. I used to harass the truckers coming through Baltimore. Brake bro, brake bro, brake bro. There's the bus to Point Arena. Brake bro, brake bro, brake bro. 1919, got your ears on? Who got your ears on out there? Nuffle, scuffle, Scotia bit for real. I used to dust it up with the brothers. Well, that's a cheap camera. I mean, you could get a Sony base R6 camera for $5,000, $6,000 before lenses. Pro level gear, Canon, cinema cameras, Sony cinema cameras. You're talking about $10,000, $20,000. Big sensors, big 35 millimeter. The best Sony's the Sony R5, Sony R100 Mark V. If you can get them, it's like $800 or so. It's a good little camera. It's got a good low light lens. Take it from somebody that shot over 15,000 videos. You don't show up to a wedding with a smartphone. Rose got the 66 Impala. Yes, the Canon EOS R6. That's like $5,000-$6,000 before you even add a $2,000 to $5,000 to $10,000 lens. You're up in the ranks of absolute pro photography there. I've probably bought more pieces of camera gear over the years than anybody. All the way back to my Panasonic H100 standard definition. Sony Bloggy. Why don't you go out and set up a wild trail camera and you can watch and see if any animal gets explosive diarrhea out there. Oh, man. Oh shit, I have learned, I wanted to get a Fujifilm X105, but then they were back ordered for 2 years, and it's just sometimes trog people turn into gearheads, and they're more interested in the latest and greatest than the story they're trying to tell. It's all about the story. That being said, I do enjoy cinematic movies, doing cinematic things. I don't know if you saw my rendering of the Twister of the Wizard of Oz last night. I did significant work on sharpening, cleaning, adding a musical score. Warner Brothers is gonna cry when that movie goes off of copyright protection. How you doing, Emma? Cindy, she was very victimized I live in California, Emma. She was very victimized by the studio system. Her mother was the devil. And Warner Brothers was the devil. She was a beautiful, filled out young woman, and they put her on amphetamines. They called her Miss Piggy Little Piggy with pigtails and stuff, just made her very weight conscious, to the point that you start to have an image problem about yourself. And then she took to drinking, and she would show up at her shows cooked out of her mind, and the audience would start to boo, and she would grab the microphone and F-bomb them, fuck all of you, and all that. Yeah, very sad. Things have consequences. And nobody really thought too much about kids. And, and her mother said, well, you're a fat little girl, so we're gonna get you trimmed down. Junked her all up on amphetamines, starved her to death. Because they wanted it to look like a girl instead of, a young woman. I'm talking about The Wizard of Oz. Plus, a lot of perversion that went on in the studio system anyway. That was trafficking. Yeah, that's it. Canon EOS R6 marked at full frame mirrorless. 25th to me, f4. That's too much. I wouldn't put an f4 on it. It's not going to be good in low light. And very few programs will process 7K raw. So, yeah. you're overkilling. You're not a professional. Get a nice Lumix S1. Get a nice 26 to 200 millimeter lens and call it good. Used to give her speed. Yeah, amphetamines. I'm not sure if it is. I haven't seen it, Emma. Yeah, they put it behind a paywall now, Cindy. Just like Charlie Brown Christmas and Peanuts and all those. They deprive generations of the same experience, and they wonder why kids are so deranged today growing up. They're looking at, tits flying everywhere and heads being cut off and gore. When is the post office not hiring? Grand Theft Auto, only 8 years old. Same kind of deal. It's cheap babysitting. I said parental skills collapsed. And we wonder why kids are raiding stores and doing street takeovers, looting, taking over malls. What kind of work would you enjoy when you go back in the workforce? I don't know. I think I'd like to work at the electrical department of Home Depot. Nice clean job. I like to work with professional contractors and builders, and I can't find anybody down there these days that knows their head from their ass in the department. There's our siren. Get you a job driving a truck. No, it's not consequences. There's no moral formation there, Tron. You tell a shoplifter, you go take a shoplifter into the office at the store and the cop's standing there, and the cop says, you shouldn't steal stuff. And the shoplifter says, why not? I wanted it, I took it. There's no idea. There's a total lack of moral formation. I've said it before, I've said it 100 times, I'll say it again. Vices come naturally to people. Naturally. That's why people are slipping into an animal state now. You look at Ariana Grande's video where she has a fake chainsaw slicing people up and blood flying everywhere. They're a very disturbed individual. A devotee of witchcraft and all that kind of stuff. You got young people who are on the border drug. Vices have to be carefully taught, generation after generation. They have to be handed down from one generation to the next. And once killing becomes legal, there's no barring the, assisted suicide, euthanasia. Sorry to tell you, grandma's plug was pulled out last night. We don't know why. It's a couple steps to Soylent Green. I don't know, Phil, if I would like trucking or not. I was never involved in trucking. I'm not living in a van, Phil. I'm living on a rancho, almost 3/4 of an acre, with a working orchard, in-law unit on the property, and a workshop. I think I've done pretty good. They did get a lot in their eye, Alex. There were a lot of injuries for that. Yeah, that's why it's a very appropriate example, Soylent Green. Because there'll be a time coming when people will think that's perfectly fine to put somebody into the grinder. Once you start legalizing the taking of life, there's no end to it. Anything is possible. Post-pandemic, Phil Collins, once corporations noticed other corporations were raising prices, they all joined on the bandwagon. There's nothing different about harvesting apples. It's all done mechanically. But when you raise the price, it gives other companies good cover to raise prices. Yeah, stabbing a clerk. Yesterday, Allen in Oakland, the same convenience store was robbed twice in a day. People that work in fast food now are getting drinks thrown at them. People breaking up the store. It's people returning to an animal state, which is a natural consequence of having no moral formation at all. Is it going to get worse? Much, much worse. Much worse. Wait till they start taking repoing the young people's cars and e-bikes and shit. Yeah, I have an old apple tree, but it produced rotten apples this year. It was a Gravenstein apple tree. It is a Gravenstein, but it just didn't have good pollination. Thank you, Alex. Good support now and always. Yeah, and don't forget the November fundraisers coming up. Thank you, Alex, for always being a good supporter of the channel. I really appreciate it. Yeah, but the difference this time will be, Trog, there will be no normal. It will be a continuous downstepping. There's absolutely zero to change the tide. Nothing. Absolutely zero. The damage has already been generationally cooked in. So this is what I say when financial stresses really hit. This is a society that will not bear up under that. It will blow apart at the seams. Well, explain to me why I should pay more for a beer than I do for a soda at a restaurant. Well, the simple answer is more people drink soda than beer. So why not screw them? Doesn't cost Coca-Cola anymore. The restaurant now put 3%, 5% added for employee welfare and shit. Pay their insurance yourself. This socialization of corporate problems is a real pisser. Privatization of profits and subsidization of loss. No generation ever came through the United States that lacked moral formation. Never, ever, 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 ever. None. This is the first generations in the history of the world that have heard less of the teachings of Christ and the gospel than any generation since Christ walked the earth. Think about that. No, you have a dynamic very much different here, Trog. Very, very different. There is no basis for moral formation. It's not taught in schools. It's not covered. You live in the most Marxist state in history, with schools even able to override parents and dictate what's allowed, what's legal and not legal. That's what'll be different this time. What I'm saying, Trog, is that in the West, civilization was, Christianity was the great civilizer that allowed great things to happen in society. Well, that's what I'm saying. We will be put to the test, and that's why I believe young people are already starting to return to churches now, because they know that the world is a shit pot right now. They're tired of being told false bullshit, lies, and everything else. Of course you work your way back to truth. I know you do, Cindy. That's why you're the remarkable person you are. That's why you're able to endure. Ken, based on what I see in the world now, and what I know AI is doing currently right now, I'd say we're in for a pretty rough period. We're already contracting at this moment. The economy is contracting. If it wasn't for data centers being built, the economy would have been contracting. It would have been negative GDP a year ago. Boy Blue came in and talked about the Pittsburgh area and how it's booming, and then I showed him that 5 of the biggest booming companies all depended on government money being spent. There was no natural demand out of the economy for it. Government decided we're going to back this, not the free market. Well, I mean, anybody that even has an inkling of who you are, Cindy, you know, knows a lot about you. I mean, I always said you were raised right. So that's what I tell you, Trog, that civilization depends every generation on the passing, the slow, methodical, careful transference of values from one generation to the next. When that chain is broken, there's no way for society to pull itself upward anymore. And for you to expect that people just out of the blue have an idea they're going to do this thing. Yeah, there's a time that comes, but you know what? You've got to go through the valley first. And if you don't think you toss kids a $40 trillion hole and throw them a shovel and tell them to get digging, when you've enjoyed the juice out of that $40 trillion, and through them, the peel, you don't think there's going to be anger? You don't think there's going to be anger? You're going to have the rapid abandonment of many areas of cities are going to become just shitholes. And New York City is now doing everything in its power to put that on its path. Without any idea that Miami's standing there capturing the financial. Texas now has a stock exchange that's open. I'm quite sure Wall Street is working diligently to move finance to Florida. And when they go, New York goes. So when your boy Mondami starts playing with stuff, I hope he understands what the hell he's doing. Mayor Ed Crotch drove it into the ground in the 70s. You had University of Michigan came out and said, we're not going to give grades for our freshmen anymore. Because mental health wise, they can't stand it. In other words, what they're saying is we're afraid somebody's going to pick up weapons and start coming in and blasting people because you got a C or something or a D. Now it's just pass fail because it's better for mental health of people. Wow, Bitcoin. Yeah, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. The problem with Bitcoin, like any other investment, it needs the wind behind it. Look at precious metals are starting to roll again, not because of inflation, but because of a creaky financial system here. Yeah. People aren't going to trade in Bitcoin. They're going to trade in silver and gold. What little they have left. I mean, any new monetary system is going to be built on that, or it's going to be built at the point of a gun. That's it. Hello, Marxism. I've never seen the government manipulating the economy as much as I do at this very day. Manipulating bond markets and interest-bearing instruments and international currencies frantic to keep this shaky POS going. Ronnie's like, hey, you take what you can. I think Carrie Class is back in the chat, but he has a different channel name. All I can say, Ronnie, is we're excellent consumers here, and we're very poor producers, very poor. And we've been riding the wave, bro, of credit. Well, what holds up a Bitcoin? The willingness of the next person. I mean, if you go into a store here and say, I need to raise some money, you go into a bank and say, I need to raise some money. I have a Bitcoin here. You see the market price is, I don't know, 63,000 or whatever. They're not going to give you, they're not going to pay that. The guy on the street's not going to pay it. He's going to take a serious dent in that baby. You know what, pal? I'll give you 40,000. But 64,000? Yeah, well, I'm only willing to pay 40. Take it or leave it. I'll take it. It's all called the greater fool theory. There's nothing underneath of a Bitcoin. They talk about, oh, it's on the blockchain. Nobody even knows what the hell the blockchain is, and nobody even cares anymore. How you doing, Brian? Yeah, that's good, Ken. You'll do it. I was kind of glad that Cindy finally hit the retire button and just get ahead at it again, that game. And now look for the job and the hours that you want to work. Got your Medicare, which if you saw my community post today, the budget deficit is horrendous for the year. Horrendous. Because of Medicare spending, and that's one thing I've been talking about. The spending on Medicare is going to go through the roof. Because the most expensive part of a person's life is the last year or two. I don't have one Bitcoin at all, Trog. I never understood I could understand the momentum of a groupthink movement, but once it broke, it's like a hot air balloon that develops a leak, a huge tear, and it's down on the ground now. And how do you reinflate it? You can't. The air is going out faster than it's coming in. People have bills to pay. They need money. And what are they going to do? They're going to sell Bitcoin. Very simple game. I don't see any commercials for Bitcoin. I don't see any banks talking about. But Tom Brady will open up a Bitcoin account and a Bitcoin wallet and a Bitcoin credit card. Crickets. Ain't no bank want to hear about Bitcoin. Maybe where Elmer lives in East Germany, yeah, maybe it's a little more to people's liking. I mean, the German economy's gone in the toilet. We've been preaching silver and gold since $30 an ounce. You said it better than I always do, Trog. There's nothing behind it. Just the idea that there's fewer and fewer in existence, that they're being removed. But it's not going to move if people have zero interest in it. The psychology's all mucked up now. You need to have that spinning snowball gathering more and more people talking about it. Publicity is at an all-time low. Ain't nobody talking about Bitcoin. You have one company with one CEO, Michael Saylor, who's doing his best to try to hold the market up. He's underwater on every average Bitcoin he holds. And every year he needs more and more money to just run basic operations. Well, you know, a lot of people care a hell of a lot about you, Cindy. It's wrong. Woo! That's good. But a lot of people want to bury their head in the sand and believe that the economy fairy will come along and ding, make everything good. Lower those rents, lower those food prices. Create those jobs doing God knows what. I can't think of one factory that opened in this county. I can think of a lot that closed. Well, you can always count on me too, Cindy. You've been a wonderful friend to this channel for years. Just tell me this, Trog. How many people have a good work experience these days? I'm talking about your average worker. How many happy average workers would you say there are now on average? 50%, 40%, 30%, 20%. I'd say it's about 15%. 20 years ago, I would put it at about 60%. Janet was working for years as a picker and puller for delivery. They had to shut that thing down. Put her on another job because she's got an excellent work history, but there's too much thieving. Not enough people, too slow. It's just ridiculous. They say Amazon, Whole Foods went from pulling 60 products to 80 to 100 products per hour. It's no different than the 1930s, early 30s, when they speeded up the assembly lines and pushed people to the limit, so unionization exploded. I expect the same thing here. And those workers in Center City, Philadelphia, making $14 to $17 an hour, 30 hours. Tell me how you survive on that. That's the difference between the 40s, 50s, and 60s, when corporations really believed in taking care of their employees and then worried about what profits were left over. Yeah, I'd say 15 out of 100 people are happy at work. Well, that's what I'm saying, but think about what it does, Trog. You work under 30 hours. Amazon doesn't have to pay for health care for you. You have the socialization of that expense on society now. Could Amazon pay that? Of course they could. But when Obamacare was set up, there wasn't any idea that they would cut from full-time work. Of course, companies are going to migrate to what the cheapest operating model is and F the people. Now it's going to be bad because Amazon gutted their whole cash flow. Hundreds of billions of dollars they've pissed into AI. And who's the hammer going to fall on? The people. When that shit all goes... The rank and file, baby. Yeah, a lot of people are living on the edge. That's why I say it's inevitable that boarding houses come back. People can't hardly even afford the roommate model anymore. And then you might be in with a pervert or an axe murderer, you know, a creep. John Brentford, how you doing? That's why I say the boarding house model is perfect for the future. You will absolutely be forcing people to socialize again. Well, that's why there's nobody panicking, Trog. There's no panic. I'm the goof on the bow of the Titanic. You know, I take a lot of heat. But at least I'm crystal clear in what I'm saying. Think about this, Trog. This is the first boom in the history of the United States. And by boom, I mean tremendous increase of capital wealth that has not trickled down to Main Street at all. Nobody's standard of living has increased because of the boom. It is increased because the borrowing of money. There has been zero trickle down from the wealth that's been created. 15% of the people control 85% of the stock market wealth. Yeah, that's right, Brett. That's right. I couldn't be here. I should be in some shithole in Kansas, digging fence posts. But trust me, things will equalize again. They'll equalize because people don't have the money to afford it, so the supply will have to come down to meet the much lower demand. You start spraying human shit mixed with water for fertilizing and irrigating your lettuce farms, and people start to get sick and some people die. Yeah, demand for lettuce just collapses in the system. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's a gilded age. There's very little trickle down. Yeah, that's why people are pissed. You see them get on TikTok and they make their videos. I don't know how I'm doing it. You know, I'm a single mom and I'm on my way to the bank now to pay my $700 mortgage. I have $120 left for 2 weeks to feed and take care of my family. You know, and they just have a mental breakdown. Yes, it's a great aggregator and the technology companies are robbing people blind. Robbing businesses blind and people blind. Yeah, thumbs up are appreciated. You take a company like Uber Eats and Grubhub and DoorDash, they do absolutely nothing except facilitate and broker the order, and they take 15 to 30% right off the top of the restaurant. Which means the restaurant kitchens have to work twice as hard with no increase in pay. The restaurant's dying. It has to create a two-tier menu, one for delivery and one for in the restaurant. So the people outside are like, God, look at the prices they're charging us. The people in the restaurant are getting 25% cheaper than we are. Oh, I hate these restaurants. Well, that's what I say, Trog. You put the whole picture together, and it starts to make a lot of logical sense, and I don't see a lot of counterbalancing things. I mean, Boy Blue was in saying the wonders of AI. I've seen no wonders of AI trickle down to anybody. Well, it helped me file Bobby's taxes in pronto. So what happens, people's credit card debt just goes up, up. Repos are at the highest rate in history, 3 million units, on a pace for 3 million units a year of repoed vehicles. Car sales are, the average car payment's over $700 a month for 72 months now. 6-year car loans. So what happens? People become peasants. They become indentured servants. They're paying student loans. They're paying car loans. They're paying rent. They got no chance to accumulate wealth. They get no chance to accumulate wealth. We're going to live in a data center. Oh, they're not down the real. Yes, yeah. Well, I wouldn't count on it. You know what? It's not going to come without a fight, Trog. And every time the word unionization hits, Amazon puts the brakes on it. And, you know, like Philadelphia, the center city, Whole Foods voted to unionize, the first one in the country. And Amazon refuses to sit down with them. And so you need harder action. This is how strikes in Detroit were resolved in the 1930s on the Miller Road crossing into the Ford plant. There were clubs being swung and blood was flowing. Pinkertons, cracking skulls. That's who I see. 99 out of 100 people doing DoorDash and Uber Eats are guys or young men. The women have got the degrees, the nursing jobs, and guys are, you know, what do we say, between March of 2025 and December 2025, there were women got 92% of the jobs. Ooh. Unprecedented. Well, thank you, Trog. I catch a lot of flack too. I get a lot of mail that, you know, what is it? It said that Jesus said a prophet is never welcome in his own home, in his own town. People don't like to hear reality. They like to imagine some magic fairy is going to come through that they haven't identified yet that's going to make things great. Meanwhile, the cost of running a government, the cost of Medicare, the cost of Medicaid, the cost of the food programs, the education systems, everything the government stuck its hand into. State and local governments set up these bloated pension plans that are just gutting people now because the county of Sonoma has to raise its sales tax to 10.5% now, probably the highest in the nation, to cover these fat pensions that they negotiated. What do you get out of it? Not a damn thing. Hey, what's going on, Real Albatross? I'm not quite sure he'll be worth that much longer. I think Larry Ellison is the first one that's in the maelstrom of the Great Reckoning now. They have absolutely gutted Oracle Corporation. because he's pissed away hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars to jump into AI. He's guaranteed $40 billion for his son's goofy takeover of Warner Brothers by Paramount. He's threatened to move Paramount out of California if California doesn't stop blocking the merger. Can you imagine that? I want to just say, go, dude, because your whole model is obsolete. I don't need sound stages anymore. I don't need carpenters, electricians. I have a guy sit behind a computer, can generate the whole scenery. I can put the actors in front of a green screen and perfectly put them right into the scene. No more big studio sound stages, lots, Foley artists. What does that mean, Jim Rockford? They have like 75% of the stadium blocked off. I'm not sure what that means. Next shoe to drop is going to be the so-called big wealth transfer that's coming. What you're going to have is a big liability transfer. Oh, it means the stadium is half. Well, I don't know. Guns N' Roses, we're talking about 30 years ago. What Gen Z millennial even knows Guns N' Roses? Or this, you might as well start digging Elvis up again and throw him. Young kids don't even know who the hell Elvis is. So I don't see what superheroes coming over the hill. I keep scanning the horizon and I hear nothing. It's like the great scene with Jeremy Irons in the movie Margin Call, and he said, "You know what, Mr. Sullivan? You know why I'm sitting here? Why I earn the big bucks? I'm not smart. I'm paid to look out in the future, 3 months, 6 months. And right now, Mr. Sullivan, I don't hear a thing." Oh, hey, I gotta... I don't think, yeah, just silence. That's it, John Brentford. One of the greatest corporate board meetings in Hollywood history. And the only person who could pull that off was Jeremy Irons. I feel that way, same way about the Twister. There'll never be a Twister created again. It'll look like that one in The Wizard of Oz. Low tech. I look at these modern ones down in the sphere and stuff. It's just some big blob. I hear silence, John Brentford. Silence. Powerful stuff. So I don't know where the bomb's going to drop, Trog. I don't know if it's going to be in Japan. I don't know if it's going to be in China. I don't know if Europe is going to go to war. I don't know if Iran's going to blow up. Something's going to happen. The tripwire will be hit. You know, a major brokerage, a major Bitcoin wallet company, a major private capital company, and all of a sudden they'll close the door. There'll be no redemptions of mutual funds. Sorry. We have to wait till market conditions get better. What the hell are you talking about? I want my money now. Sorry, you signed this agreement. We're only going to redeem 5% of it. And just everybody stacks up behind. You just have a cascading wall of shit. So all these people got into these 401ks that got into index plans. They're buying the same overpriced companies month after month. 60-70% of their dollars are going into the same 6 or 7 overpriced companies. You're not having a diminishment of wealth, you're having a hyper concentration of wealth. There's no diversity in that. You think you're doing what your financial advisor said to do. You're doing brainless investing. I honestly, John Brentford, I don't know what the future of Bitcoin is. I'm not sure. Having never understood what puffed it up except human psychology. The people that are interested in repairing and filling the balloon again are few and far between. There'll be far more people rushing to precious metals. Now you have Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent running around like a chicken with his head cut off trying to fight all these brush fires. Yeah, I think you're pretty much correct, Alan. I don't see a viable way out of that. You're not going to blow up the whole Gulf states and have the Persian Gulf turn into an oil slick catastrophe with no drinking water and tens of millions of refugees setting off across the desert. The dangerous part of leaving is that you set up a tougher situation for other people to, what used to be free passage through the Straits of Hormuz now has a price tag associated with it. Now, I happen to believe that Iran is pinprick away from total collapse internally because of the lack of food, the lack of money's worthless. People are becoming more and more pissed off at the regime. And there does come a point where death becomes a viable option to rise up and take the country back. I think they're extremely close to that point. Well, that's why I think we're hanging around. They're just about, they're not moving, they're not making money. That all those juicy boats from Russia that were full of all those drones just got sunk right in the sea. You talk about it costly. Thank you, Ukraine. What a queer country Russia's been through history. Yes, Ukraine is on the absolute cutting edge of warfare right now. On the absolute cutting edge of warfare. And they're starting to inflict a lot of pain on Russia. Stuff people never thought they would see. Refineries on fire, factories being blown up. Yeah, Putin, war is hell, baby. War is hell, my boy. How you doing, JT? They're getting all this help from the best Israeli technology, too. I'm on 4th Street in Santa Rosa, just seeing what's going on downtown. Looks pretty quiet. It looks pretty quiet. It doesn't look like there's a riot. So I got to start turning my attention to football season. We're going to fire up the Rosie Murphy for a little bit of talk about football. I believe they're starting school any day now, and the school system is the worst in the state. Shit, it's a Wednesday night market. I forgot, boys. We got to get the hell out of here. The school system is a disaster. Bloody disaster. They have just destroyed this city and county with all their pensions, all their DEI bullshit initiatives. Hello, Kelly. How are you, babe? Whoa! That's cool. Good for you, Callie. I'm sure you can be a tremendous cook. Oh boy. You know, I haven't seen a movie in so long. I feel like I need to see a movie. We need to get the heck out of here, baby. Pat. Pat's got it going on. Ronnie, tomorrow we got a reminder, probably setting up for filming, and there's a movie production company in town. We'd like to take a walk tomorrow and see what's going on. Hopefully we'll get decent signal. How's the signal today, Ronnie? Yeah, there was a video on YouTube. Some lady went into a Jersey Mike's. I don't know where it was, New Jersey or New York or something. And she said, "It's my birthday. I want a free sub." And the guy said, "We don't give free subs on people's birthday." "Well, you're gonna give me one." Holy shit! Like, I'm gonna report you to management. Everything that's wrong with people today. I need to see a kick-ass comedy, boys. I'm gonna have to pull out the old, some old Cary Grant movie. Yeah, how do you explain that today, Ronnie? Maybe it's because I didn't have the charger back. I haven't been to a movie since 2001. I don't want to see a slasher movie, a horror movie. I don't care about that crap. They're not out there selling the big meat tonight. I wonder why. There's the Cormark, man. Woo! Thank you. Thank you very much, Sean. Thank you, guys. We're way behind in thumbs up. Let's go get our tomatoes inside before they get, before the humidity gets them. We're drying tomatoes. We got Tweakerville. What are we doing? No, it's not tweaking. Okay, I thought somebody was tweaking in the road. Wow, you have to purchase this seat. That's funny. God knows what a drink and popcorn costs. Probably $20. I can smell October right around the corner, boys. I hear ice cream, boy. I wouldn't mind seeing some a little indie film or going to a documentary festival. And I'm so sick of all this DEI bullshit. Like this professor at Oxford, turned out everything he said was a lie. That's somebody that feels capable of teaching your kids. A liar is a good way to get educated. I'm not sure if I checked the mail today or not. No. Over checking. Tragedy, what's happened to the education system. Been victimized by bullshit. Can't teach the 3 R's anymore. You have to teach agendas. No wonder kids can't even count to 10, much less divide a fraction. Money, 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 money. Let me go check the mail. As if you're doing kids a favor. Pull them away from the hard subjects and put them on the bullshit ones. Give them some bullshit degrees. Yeah, we're gonna go check the tomatoes. We should have gotten some initial dry. Oh, man, now we got another vehicle here. What the hell is going on? Luis must be getting tired of this continuous yard sale. I got something here. Let's see. Junk. Oh, oh. I definitely heard the trash guys this morning, boys. It's banging away. Cats know it's too early. They have a good sense of timing. Let's see. There's Simba. He likes to sleep in the bag. Oh shit, there's Goliath. They're looking pretty good. They're dried quite a bit already. I have so many tomatoes, guys. So many tomatoes. This is going to be good. Keep the flies off. Let me sit this down and I'll take these inside. Let's see where we're gonna sit these babies. Ooh, ooh. Let me grab these babies and bring them in. Oh, they dried a lot already. I didn't get them out there until 1 o'clock. That's pretty impressive. I don't think you need a big dehydrator. Let me get these. Figure out where I'm going to put these babies tonight.
Help from Caracas to the wider, which
I'm
was
going to rest them right here.
with the earthquakes, right? And so we have a way of working, and we have inputs, we have equipment that can help during situations like this. There are other groups that we are allied with that had, or that still have actually a refuge for, I think it's 78 people that, you know, lost their homes and lost their everything basically in La Guaira. So we helped them create a situation where they can be fed.
Yeah, these tomatoes are off to a fantastic start.
But also things to cook with, etc. So this is outside of what
Really
the government
good.
is doing
Lively,
structurally. There are people on the grassroots that are using all of the years of experience that we've got organizing communities to help people that are needing it most at the moment. I had this incredible experience bringing, I think it was 3 or 4 days after the earthquakes, and we had received as Feria Comunquera donations.
All right, so far so good. They're off to a really good start.
So I was able to buy some things and take
I'm gonna
them
go in the
to
bathroom.
in the park at that time.
Yes.
And I was taking a tarp to help people with, because of the tropical rains, they were going to be not doing very well in parks if they didn't have something to cover them, right? And so I'm taking this tarp around, and I'm asking people who to give this to that would most need it. And the personnel was saying, well, go this way, go that way. And I find this family at the end, and they are clearly just, they only have the clothes on their back. They have one baby who's drinking a bottle from, sorry, that sound pulls from my phone. So anyway, the fact is that you could see that they had nothing but the clothes on their back. And I offer them this tarp. And they say, no, we were just assigned this tent. You should talk to this other family. And at the moment, I didn't make much of it. But after that night, I just broke down crying because I had experienced how someone who truly has nothing can find it in themselves to show solidarity to someone that had even less. And I have seen that with my own eyes. I have heard these people. I know that this happens. And
I'm really happy with the way they're turned out so far.
That I am a part of this group of people that are making
They got a
the
nice
best out of
firm this
circumstances.
too, all right.
And so it is the organization of communities and the experience, the long years of doing this that has allowed us to really help. And that's what I hold dear at the moment, and that is the hope that I have for Venezuela.
Let me let people know that you're listening to Flash Events on Pacifica Radio. We're speaking with Giselle Perdomo.
Can you imagine putting those babies on pizza? They're nice and dry. They're gonna be fantastic. All right.
And what you're doing and working with the people really comes through very strong, and I appreciate also getting the perspective of the scientist and
Oh, it's David. It's
from a lot of different levels.
Bernstein.
This, of course, must be an important part of the work you're doing, watching.
Oh boy. So tomorrow we're gonna have a street stream, and we're gonna end up and see what they're doing over at the park. Seems to be there's a production company in town.
Well,
And we're gonna see what the story is over there.
Of course, is the most important there. I'm trying to remember
I'm never gonna these damn peanuts are terrible now. The only good ones are Hampton Farms.
It happened in Caracas as well, which is close to the beach. The most affected area was right in front of the beach. So all of these buildings that have been built there and that had actually been recently rebuilt because there had been a terrible flood not long ago. So they had been rebuilt partially by the state and partially by the private industry.
What's wrong with the 6-string, Tara?
By nature. opportunity, let's call it, to see them are just devastated. I mean, buildings were absolutely pancaked. You could see nothing left. That happened in Caracas as well, but less so than in Alajuela. And after the loss of life, after the loss of material things, there's also this sense that is left, that and you can go by places in Caracas where there used to be a building and just walking by that and knowing they're used to building their house. There is
Like they mixed up salted and unsalted nuts. I can't figure it out.
You know, the remnants of cracks, where you can see buildings that have, so the government has instated a system whereby in the entrance to a building there is either a green, yellow, or red sticker, which implies you can green go in, yellow you should not, and red you absolutely most definitely should not.
I don't take potassium supplements.
And so you go by Caracas and you see this, and I have not gone to La Guaira, but my friends from the
I take magnesium.
and it's also the emotional toll of, you know, like one of my friends, one of the drivers, had to hold him and say, you know, really, if you feel like you can't.
The potassium sodium balance is very critical for your body.
Because you could see it in his eyes. He would, you could see that he would just go away and think of all of the images. And so even helping has taken a very big toll, because in order to help, you have to see the devastation. And it's just,
I don't know. I got enough bullshit with Fauci and all that crap.
It was hard before the earthquakes. It was hard before the bombings. So it's now just really devastating. But again,
You have your chosen leader kidnapped. I mean, it's
Oh, jeez.
It's abuse on a grand scale in a country.
I'm talking about Venezuela
It
and Maduro kidnapped.
Special name.
and it's public, which is something that really just strikes me, because as I said, you can look at that executive order online.
Terry, you guys must be busy down there.
They're not hiding it. You can look and see how your government is stating, just out means shouting it from the rooftops. We are taking all of the funds from the Venezuelan Central Bank and Petróleo de Venezuela. How can you even state that? They've got this little part that says, on the custodial nature of United States possession. Custodial nature. What pointed you to that position? You know, holding my funds in custody. It's like we're on an allowance, and it's public knowledge. It's just, I find it hard to believe, and particularly when you've been a lefty and you've heard the right say, now you don't know reality, you're stuck in the past, everything that the right throws at you, and you think, will you read this, please? Can you just go online and read this piece of crap that they are publishing? Imperialism, colonialism, all of this exists. It's clear, and yet it seems like we're still fighting against a if you understand what I mean, if you face that the left is just like this.
Did you say past gone? Past gone? Is that what it is?
I did. It's just, it's a long history life. And just read this. Just read this. It's amazing. Like, who would ever think that the United States has any right under any natural or foreign
Save that for the weekend.
to take
I didn't hear much about the eclipse.
funds and
I don't know what the weather. Elmer, I didn't hear him say a thing about it.
the funds be administered by the United States. Like,
I didn't hear a doggone thing about the eclipse.
on what grounds? And the words that they use, like, the executive order is to safeguard. Oh, that's so nice. Safeguard Venezuelan oil revenue. How cute. Safeguard Venezuelan oil revenue for the good of the American people and the Venezuelan people. What is this? And what it is just a situation, a global situation where the right has shown that it can do whatever it wants. Not only in Venezuela, it has done so in Gaza, it
The
does
right's got all the money, honey.
and so we seriously need to get.
I didn't even know it was going on today.
To make sure.
Tell you the truth.
Understand what they're fighting for, not only in Venezuela, but in general. Here in Venezuela, I can't do anything about, for example, the Senate inquiries that are happening about what's being done with the Venezuelan funds. There's a Senate inquiry over there. They're trying to see, okay, you've got $13 billion from Venezuela. What have you done with it? Where is it? Is it?
It's all that
Is it actually
Chinese Long March 7 rocket blow up.
Where's it? I can't do anything about that from here. The United States, people in the United States must push for that.
I don't know what happened to that baby.
One of the most important things that we need to do is
You had bad separation of stage on that.
is very important.
That probably had some really expensive shit.
Access, information about what's going on so they can push for a better world, essentially. Just push for these ridiculous things to stop happening.
Listen, this is clearly,
Yeah, what does that mean, optimistic? 7 planets is aligned. Is that good?
We would love to continue with you.
Or should I start digging a shelter?
Know what's going on the ground. We have been speaking from Caracas. We're speaking to Caracas Giselle.
Elmer, did you see the eclipse?
She is a biologist. Describes herself, I believe, as
Over in East Germany?
the organizer and a founder of an important.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Alternative to the government that give a place for people to work, create structures.
And talk to me as if you were talking to a child.
I hope that we can keep this dialogue going along. We really do want to know what's happening in the face of 2 earthquakes. I mean, it's just over with 7.2 and 7.4, something like that. We want to be with you. And if I can figure out a way to conjure to get there and visit you, I'd love to bring some kind of recording device and talk to you from the ground. Appreciate the work
It would
that
be
you.
my pleasure.
Thank you. We appreciate the work that you're doing, and the information is powerful. Thank you for being with
I
us.
appreciate you as well. Thank you.
All right, stay safe.
I thought he'd had some kind of
You're listening to
mystical deal.
Pacifica Radio. This is your daily investigative news magazine. We call it Flashpoint.
You know, like when the moon is in the 7th house and Jupiter aligns with Mars,
With us, more to come.
then bullshit will guide the planets, something like that.
Episode of Flashpoints. Our executive producer is Dennis Bernstein. Senior producer Miguel Gavilan Molina and Kevin Pina. Technical producer Rod Akil. Our theme music written and produced by Charlie Lang. For questions and comments, email Dennis Bernstein at dennis@kpfa.org. Thank you for listening.
500 years, eh? Flashpoints with Dennis Bernstein. All right, that was a good nuts. So Saturday,
Promote whatever keeps you scrolling. Corporations
we're going to be working on redoing the hamburger.
KPFA answers to something different.
I might get some different hamburger meat.
When you become a monthly guardian, you help build a dependable foundation for independent news.
Not a happy person with that
Conversations and music.
packaged
Selected
crap.
by people who actually care about what you hear. Make a difference today. Champion independent radio right now.
It seems very,
At this very moment, by becoming
very stringy, like it's some kind of slime that's put it together.
This is 94.1 KPFA and 89.3 KPFB in Berkeley, 88.1 KFCF in Fresno, and online everywhere at KPFA.
Do. Yeah, did you see it, Elmer? Was it visible from East Germany? Ding.
I'm Scott Baba. Results are coming in from primaries in 6 states across the country, including in Wisconsin, where moderate Democratic candidate David Crowley upset expectations by beating projected favorite progressive Francesca Hong.
No matter who wins this primary, we're going to continue to fight for each other. We are going to collectively reject despair, and we are going to unite.
Ocean advocates rallied in Sacramento for California marine protections.
We're seeing very strong bipartisan support for marine protection because people love the ocean, and I think people recognize that we're seeing serious impacts from marine heat waves and that there needs to be more done today to conserve our oceans for the future tomorrow.
And state workers picketed across the state over contentious contract negotiations.
State workers are fighting for a livable wage, for
Huh.
affordable health care.
State workers are fighting for a livable raise. I am, Ace. That's funny. State workers are fighting for a livable wage.
And so I, just want to make sure
They ought to go down to Amazon.
that state workers are critical in all Californians' lives, and we should be able to provide for our families as well.
These stories and more coming up from the studios of KPFA in Berkeley. This is the Pacific 80 News. I'm Scott
I know they do, Dr. Frankenstein. It's ridiculous. They want to push the wage up because that pushes the pensions up. The final pension is based on your highest wage. They're desperate to put taxpayers more in the hole.
Their nominee for governor narrowly defeating progressive state representative Francesca Hong in Tuesday's primary. Crowley won what became a remarkably close race after Hong had led in polling and emerged as the candidate of the party's progressive wing. Crowley, who would become Wisconsin's first black governor, returned to the race after briefly suspending his campaign and won the endorsement of outgoing Democratic Governor Tony Evers. Hong ran on an ambitious progressive agenda that included universal child care, free school meals, and major new investments in health care. She also
Wow.
fought for abolishing ICE and
This
taxing
broad just has no idea of cost.
on election night.
We have built a beautiful, multi-generational, multi-partisan, multi-racial, working-class movement.
Hard to believe.
And it is a movement that meets the moment. This is unprecedented here. And this is how we're going to win together in November. And for Novembers to come. The fight continues no matter what. Because no matter who wins this primary, we're going to continue to fight for each other. We are going to collectively reject despair, and we are going to unite.
by contrast, emphasized a more moderate message and argued that Democrats need a candidate who can appeal to voters across the political spectrum in a divided battleground state. Crowley now faces Republican.
Yeah, that
Congressman
socialist
Tom
push
Tiffany
was
in
scaring the
November.
hell out of people.
Tiffany, a strong ally of Donald Trump, won the Republican primary without serious opposition. Tiffany has aligned himself with Trump, while Crowley is positioning himself as a pragmatic Democrat who can unite the party and appeal to independent voters. Voters in Minnesota.
I think AOC is going to run for senator of New York. Get rid of Chucky, boy.
Offered different snapshots of the party heading into November's midterm elections. In Minnesota, Senator Amy Klobuchar easily won the Democratic nomination for governor. She'll face Republican State House Speaker Lisa DeMuth, who defeated Trump-backed My Pillow founder Mike Lindell in the
My
GOP
Pillow.
primary. Klobuchar's
What the hell was the whole My Pillow thing?
DeMuth's win over Lindell is notable.
Was everybody supposed to get a My Pillow? I didn't get one.
CEO for My Pillow to focus on running for governor and lost by a significant margin with Trump's endorsement.
Getting out in the digital market, we reached the people in Minnesota that didn't get out to vote in 2022. They think midterms aren't as important. That was my push.
Well, she'll be popular. I have to say, she looks good from the back end.
Klobuchar also faces the task
I hate to be shallow.
hold the governor's office after Tim Walz departs.
Oh, Roosevelt, you're everything that's wrong with this country. No solar eclipse in Berlin. Ich ein et Berliner.
In Minnesota, trust is not given. It's earned. That trust comes with an expectation, which is results. Results that you can see and feel in your life. Results in making life more affordable, making our government work, and getting rid of the fraud. Results
Same old record, man.
in expanding
Nothing ever changes, man, and life never gets more affordable.
results that will transform.
It's a one-way trip.
And yes, I will be a transformative governor.
The state's other major contest was the Democratic Senate primary, where Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan defeated Congresswoman Angie Craig. Flanagan, who would become the first Native American woman elected to the Senate, campaigned heavily on opposition to President Trump's immigration policies. Here's Flanagan addressing her crowd on election night.
The many just won.
All right, guys, well, that's going to do it for me today. A short win. I got some other stuff to do, so I'm going to go ahead and close it out tonight and thank Ronnie. I don't know if I saw, I didn't see Shimei. I didn't see Seattle Judy. Don't forget, tomorrow we've got the street stream. We're going to find out what's being filmed over by the park. Hopefully we'll have a good signal. Ronnie, thank you for everything. And then we're going to also see if Matote is actually serving beer. Good night, Dr. Frankenstein. If you haven't seen the Twister remaster or this morning's video, please check them out. Because I put up 2 videos in 24 hours. They didn't send, I don't think they sent the notifications for this live stream. Oh, well. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for everything, and I will see you tomorrow.
And will seek a third term against Republican State Senator Ryan Fazio.
A lot of other parties.